Hi there, and welcome to my Itty Bitty Chapel. My name is Patty Chaffee, and I'm the community minister at Niantic Community Church. I'm also a spiritual director and an expressive arts facilitator. The Itty Bitty Chapel is a few moments offered midweek to relax, refresh, and reflect on a spiritual word or phrase. It is usually filmed in or near a sacred space within my home called the Itty Bitty Chapel, and our candles are lit to remind us of the presence of Spirit within and around us always. Our word for reflection this week is clarity. In Love Poems from God, translations by Daniel Ladinsky, there is a poem by St. John of the Cross called A Rabbit Noticed My Condition. I was sad one day and went for a walk. I sat in the field. A rabbit noticed my condition and came near. It often does not take more than that to help at times, to just be close to creatures who are so full of knowing, so full of love that they don't chat. They just gaze with their marvelous understanding. Sometimes without a word being spoken, things can become so very clear. Yet we insist on communicating with so many words. I am a collage artist, and one of my many joys in life include cutting, tearing, gluing, and creating, usually working in silence if space allows, as a journey unfolds, sometimes a future, sometimes a present, sometimes both. A recent collage sits on my desk in my studio space and has one image in particular that I found striking. Two glass bottles sit next to each other, one with a cork and the other with an open top. The image shows through the crystal clear glass, overlooking a gorgeous day with white clouds high in the sky. There was something about that small image that made me think clarity. There was a vibrancy to it, an invitation to see things more clearly. As I reflected on the image, it was interesting that one bottle was corked at the top while the other was wide open. I reflected on how our journeys are influenced by our experience of clarity, to vision, to a certain way of not only seeing but knowing. We don't always want to acknowledge what we know deep inside, do we? Sometimes pushing that knowledge away, not wanting to be wrong, not wanting to answer a call, not wanting to open ourselves to possibilities. These two bottles said a lot. Yes, clarity can be a funny thing. We might think we want it, but when we get it, are we the open bottle, or does that cork keep us safe and protected? One of my favorite spiritual writers is Thomas Merton. He was a Trappist monk at the Abbey of Gethsemane in Kentucky. Side note, try the Trappist preserves blueberry or seedless raspberry jam. You won't regret it. It's to die for. Anyway, he's been described as a prolific writer, a poet, a mystic, a hermit, a social activist. He was deeply reflective, but also stirred things up at the same time. A hermit who is a social activist. You might be thinking, how is that possible? Those aren't two things that we often find together. He wrote, "You do not need to know precisely what is happening, or exactly where it is all going. What you need is to recognize the possibilities and challenges offered by the present moment, and to embrace them with courage, faith, and hope." Such a wise man. A dear friend of mine is also a very wise man. You may remember him from the Itty Bitty Chapel about Shine. He was the guy at the end singing and dancing This Little Light of Mine by the pool. I asked him for a song, and he gave me an all-out performance. His name is John Urbanski, and you wouldn't have known it to watch him, but my friend is blind. And one of the most beautiful people I know. Always with a great attitude, always in love with God, and his bottle is always open at the top. He never has his cork on. He is always open to the mystery of God and the amazing journey we are invited to experience. He celebrates life every day and inspires me to do the same. In Meditations with Merton, a collage of scripture quotes, original prayers, and Merton's own words, Nikki Verploegen Vandergrift shares insights on Merton's work and what it is to just be. There is a mystery about human experience, she writes. We are the only beings, as far as we know, who can reflect on what it is to be. Something in us makes us want to be as fully as possible. We might say that this yearning to be originates in our innate desire to move beyond what we know in our heads to a greater awareness and capacity in our spirits. We also sense that we are part of a bigger reality beyond human knowledge. If we choose to develop the awareness, we move into faith. The challenge is to willingly develop the careful art of listening to that higher power and respond creatively. This is not always easy amid the ambiguities of life or in major decision making, but we believe that if in our hearts we are yearning for the voice of God, we will be guided. We will be guided. If we listen, that voice will guide us to the clarity we seek. Won't it? Are you the bottle with the open top? Or is your cork firmly in place? Are you seeking clarity about your journey? And if so, what specific questions do you have? What questions? Collage is a wonderful opportunity to learn about ourselves and to explore the journey. So gather up some scissors and glue and start cutting. You might be surprised to see what you might see. You might be surprised by the clarity that comes from a bit of creativity. For more information about creating an intuitive collage, visit our Spiritual Tools for Daily Life collage video on YouTube. The link for it is at the end of the video. And I'll be thinking of you in this time when we seek a deeper understanding of ourselves, our journey, a deeper relationship with God, and a sense of clarity. And praying that our God bless you in every way you need on this journey. And until next time, namaste.